All right, this is going to be a quick one. Somebody did draw my attention to a blog post, pretty much like an investigation on the Asus ROG laptops. They could be the Strix, the Scar, or the Zephyros. Honestly, I do not know how that name is pronounced. It says Zephyros. You see, the allegation was that some of these laptops pretty much have some kind of problems, and the problems could just be, ranging from the laptop suddenly, startling, watching a YouTube video, or perhaps the mouse suddenly just, freezes, or even some crackling sound or pop sound from the audio, even on Discord calls. And this is kind of frustrating. I can pretty much relate to what kind of frustration that can be, because in case you do not know, I sell used computers on the internet. I sell on eBay and on my website. I sell desktop PCs, laptop, tablets, and everything across that line. It's not a good thing if a high-end gaming PC, talking about laptops in the ranges of thousands of euros. A typical Asus ROG Strix Car 18 costs as much as 3,000 euros. Asus ROG Zephyros G16 as much as 2,000 euros. The list goes on and on and on. These are pretty much high, expensive PCs. And they could be frustrating if you have saved a lot of money to buy something decent, only for you to receive it, and the next thing you see, the audio begins to crackle, or you're experiencing some startling, while watching just a normal YouTube video. Yes, I'm not going to go into the details of this report. As a matter of fact, I'm just going to go ahead and link this report so that you can easily take a look for yourself. Read it, because I do not want to go into the complications of this lengthy report right here. But the beautiful thing is that Asus has since acknowledged it, and I said we are going to take a look at it. We're going to investigate it. Perhaps if it's a firmware bug, they are going to do something immediately to try to fix it. But then how does this affect you and I as resellers? Take a look at the internet. Asus laptops have pretty much been around for quite a long time. I'm talking about back in the days when men were boys. If you know, you know. Asus laptops have been pretty much accepted by the market. If you go onto eBay today, as a matter of fact, after this news broke, I went onto eBay to take a look. In the last 7 days, 179 pieces of these units have been sold. I'm just going to take a look, ranging from the Asus VivoBook, Asus Chromebook. 179 pieces of these units have been sold, which means it enjoys a pretty decent acceptance in the market right now. Of course, this news is going to pretty much cost something. I don't want to expect that it's going to upset, market demand for this product, but then you and I, we are not typical resellers, going for high-end stuff like this. As a matter of fact, when people want to deal on stuff like this, talking about consumers, they want to go ahead and buy new, because if you have as much as 3,000 euros to splash on a laptop, you are better off, going all in and buying brand new, so that you have the 3 years warranty. And if anything is to go wrong, perhaps a particular series of laptop you bought, has a problem, you enjoy the fact that the company, Asus in this case, can actually recall those laptops. You are definitely better off if you go ahead, to buy new. But for resellers like you and I, should we be worried about, a news like this? Definitely not, because first thing, like I said, we are not typically playing in the waters of very expensive, gaming PCs in the ranges of 3,000, 4,000 euros. I want to advise you, I do sell this product, but this is not a good waters to roll in, because you need some specialized keys to actually play that game. You are better off if you focus your effort in sourcing for the 8th gen, the 7th gen, or even the 6th gen, Asus laptops, because these laptops, first of all, they do not have this kind of problems, and also they are not so expensive. You can quickly source them, and when you bring it to the market, because the general population of people buying from you are not so rich, you are able to sell those products even much faster than if you go ahead to buy the very high-end gaming PCs, especially these ones that have the suspicions of this kind of problem. You are better off if you focus your effort once again on the 8th gen, the 7th gen, laptop from Asus. I have personally taken a look. I do not see any problems with these laptops. As a matter of fact, people that have bought these laptops, they pretty much have very decent reviews for this laptop. You might be going around now, you're looking for products to buy, and somebody tells you, hey, I've got some very good supplies of Asus laptops, and because you have this kind of information, this report here that is saying that these laptops have some bit of problems, you might be telling yourself, no, I don't think I want to deal on these laptops right now, because I heard somewhere or some investigation that says Asus gaming laptops, are having some kind of problems. That would be a blanket, statement to make, because I'm telling you, in the last 7 days on eBay alone, 171 units of these, laptops sold for real money. That's a lot, guys. If you are opportune to get an Asus laptop, I want to tell you, go for it. There's every possibility that the particular series you are trying to buy is not in this range of products that are currently being investigated, you are better off if you do these transactions. It might be just that one transaction that's going to change things for you. Of course, before you go ahead to deal, one thing you want to do is to always go onto the eBay sold listing, or the research tool that eBay has given us for free. Take a look at it. Take a look at the product that people are currently selling right now. I kind of see that the Asus VivoBook tends to be killing it. As a matter of fact, I do not have a lot of Asus right now. This is a Lenovo ThinkCentre M700 PC, but with the information I have right here, if the Asus PCs tends to be selling this good, 197 units in a space of 7 days, that's a very decent, amount of units to be sold in just 7 days. I'm going to look for it myself. Asus VivoBook or the Asus Chromebook, I'm going to be on the lookout for this kind of products. And if I get any of this, I'm definitely going to be dealing, bringing the products to eBay and also on my website, pending when Asus is going to release an official statement on the investigation that has been published. Of course, like I said, if it is just a firmware, update that this series of laptop needs, this is definitely going to be an easy thing to do. I don't want to imagine that there's going to be a recall on this product, because these products have been in the market for quite a while, and I don't see why a firmware update will not be able to fix whatever this investigation has just brought to the fore. Of course, like I said, these are expensive laptops. 1,619 euros for a typical Asus ROG Zephyrus G14. That's a whole lot of money, and if you have 1,619 euros, you are better off buying 3 different configurations or even 4 different configurations of the Asus Chromebook or the Asus VivoBook. You stand a better chance to sell them on eBay even quickly than investing all your capital buying just one inventory of an Asus ROG Zephyrus G14. Think about it. Let me know what you think. If you have 3,000 euros right now to spend, would you put it on just one single laptop in an attempt to flip it to make about 60 euros in profit? Or would you rather buy, different types of the Asus Chromebook or the Asus VivoBook to flip them for profit on a platform like eBay? Let me know your thoughts. Until I see you again in the next one, peace.